and a swing and a hip. She's the queen of the high school hop. She is a rock and a roll crazy. Got a jukebox in her soul. Boom, bang, shoop, shell, crazy for rock and roll. When I get home, I pick up the phone. Call my baby, take her out tonight. Ask her where she wants to go, a restaurant or a picture show. I'm looking for romance, but she just wants to dance. Oh. Boom, bang, whop, shang-a-lang. My baby don't want to stop. Ruby red lips and a swing in her hip. She's the queen of the high school hop. She's a rock and roll crazy. Got a jukebox in her soul. Boom, bang, shoop, shang-a-lang, crazy for rock and roll. I said, for goodness sake, let's take a break. When you gonna stop your crazy jive? Oh, won't you let me walk with you? 'Cause honey, I gotta talk to you. I'm looking for romance, but you just want to dance. Shang-a-lang, my baby don't want to stop. Ruby red lips and a swing in her hip. She's the queen of the high school hop. She's a rock and roll crazy. Got a jukebox in her soul. Boom, bang, shoot, shang-a-lang, crazy for rock and roll. Just wants to dance. Oh, you crazy mama. Say the boom, bang, whop, shang-a-lang. My baby don't want to stop. Ruby red lips and a swinging hip. She's the queen of the high school hop. She is a rock and a roll crazy. Got a jukebox in her soul. Boom, bang, shoop, shang-a-lang, crazy for rock and roll.
Welcome to Jailhouse Rocks, a musical tribute to our wildlife friends who inhabit the zoo.
There's a new boy in the neighborhood. I'd like to meet him if I could. He's got the looks that I dream about. Makes the other girls scream and shout. What would I do if he looked my way? I wouldn't know what to say, 'cause I'm too shy to tell him that I love him so.
The most famous zoo in the entire world is not located in some major city. The largest zoo in the entire world is not to be found in any one particular country, because the greatest of all zoos in the entire universe is right here, the planet Earth. All the wildlife creatures of our world live in the zoo of the gods. And the force of gravity is the bar and cage that keeps the wildlife creatures from roaming off into space. Now, let's explore the many different species of wildlife that inhabit the zoo of all zoos, the great planet Earth. And we will discover some amazing facts along the way. cardinal's eyes are big and round for better vision at night. The eyes of the green macaw bulge outward. All birds' eyes have a protective membrane like an upside-down eyelid. The membrane on this sandhill crane's eye blinks rapidly. The yellow eyes of the wolf almost glow against its black fur. The pupils of the tiger's eyes get small in daylight. Deer see colors in the blue-green range of the spectrum, which is why hunters wear blaze orange. The mountain goat depends on its terrific eyesight to detect danger at a distance. The beaver's eyes are located on the top of its skull, so it can see above the waterline while it swims. And this test proves that two eyes are indeed better than one. Did you know the female box turtle's eyes are yellow and the male's are bright red? This frog's eyes have gold-colored flecks in them. This bluegill's eyes point backwards. Since the horseshoe crab's eyes are under its shell, nobody knows for sure what it can actually see. Desert animals, like this gerenuk, have large ears. Elephants lower their body temperature by cooling the blood in their ears, kind of like large radiators. The hairs in the ears of this zebra act like earmuffs to keep the blowing sand out. Deer move their ears constantly, listening for danger. The intelligent red fox has pointed ears that are always alert. Cottontail rabbits shed the hair on their ears in warm weather. Jackrabbits' huge ears can detect danger, kind of like high-powered radar. The female bullfrog's ears are the same size as its eyes. The giraffe's hairy nose is a dust trap. Gorillas live in the forest and do not need hairs in their noses. The African elephant's trunk has two tips on the end. The Indian elephant only has one. Dik-dik antelopes' noses are very flexible. The bobcat's nose tip is hairless to trap scent molecules. Twitching as it sniffs the air, this pika can smell danger. The cottontail rabbit remains motionless, but it's always twitching its nose. Hippopotamus have valves on their noses that close when they go underwater. Why is this gazelle's tongue dark blue-black in color? The elk's tongue is bright pink like our own. Bison have tongues that are blue-black also. White tigers mostly have pink tongues. The reticulated giraffe's tongue is almost a foot long. This makes it handy to pick leaves or, well, pick its nose. Snakes can tell what you are by the way you smell, so I hope you smell good. The whale-headed stork of Africa has one of the largest of all bills. That red dot on the adult gull's bill is a target that baby gulls touch to be fed. The shape of the crowned crane bill tells us it catches insects and picks up seeds. Cardinals have heavy bills for cutting open seeds. Wading birds have long bills for probing in deep water. This Waldorf ibis feeds on water creatures like snails. The bill of the auklet is designed for catching fish underwater. The yellow-billed stork is a master catcher of fish, crustaceans, and mollusks. The parrot's bill is used for eating fruit and opening seeds. The bicolored bill of the marbled godwit shows that it is a shorebird that feeds in deeper water. Rock doves, or pigeons, use their bills to eat seeds. There's no doubt this sharply curved bill belongs to a predator. Although it's hidden under feathers, this Eurasian eagle owl has a razor-sharp bill tip. The spoonbill gets its name from its spatula-shaped bill. The horned puffin sheds the outer layer of its bill after the breeding season. The brightly colored bill of the tufted puffin also becomes smaller in the breeding season. This pileated woodpecker has a bill as strong as iron to chisel the bark off trees to get to the insects inside. Willow ptarmigan's bills are more like garden shears to cut leaves, blossoms, and berries. The great blue heron spears its fish with its long, slender bill. The black oyster catcher uses its stout bill like a pair of pliers to pry open the shells of clams and oysters. The sharply hooked bill of the bald eagle is designed for tearing flesh. For all hummingbirds, the needle-like bill is used to probe flowers. The upturned bill of the American avocet sweeps the water for insects and plunges deeply for crustaceans. The pelican's bill has elastic skin that acts like a fishnet when it feeds. Vultures use their sharp bills to tear flesh from the dead animals they feed on. The long bill of the white ibis is perfect for poking around in the mud. Mud hugging is okay, but this bill was built for catching frogs, snakes, and rodents. The sharply pointed bill of the squacco heron is used to capture small fish and water insects. All birds use their bills for preening. The serrations on the edge of this Canadian goose's bill are used to cut grass like scissors. The mallard duck's bill strains food from the water. Flamingos also have strainers in their bills. Insects are fast food, and the sharp bill of the wattled plover makes catching insects much easier. The lion has 4 large canine teeth used for grasping prey. The beaver has 4 large orange-colored incisor teeth used for cutting wood. Alligators have lots of teeth, but they don't chew their food. They swallow it whole. The front teeth of all rodents grow constantly. Rodents, like this hoary marmot, chew constantly to wear their teeth down. Elephants have 2 teeth that don't wear down, and these are called tusks. The warthog also has tusks for protection. The walrus's tusks are used primarily for fighting. Growing antlers are nourished by a hairy covering called velvet. When the antlers are fully developed, the deer rubs the velvet off. With his polished antlers, this bull elk is ready for the breeding season. The Alaskan moose has the largest antlers in the world, some weighing over 90 pounds. The Cape buffalo's horns form sort of a helmet in the center to protect the skull. Horns on this Dahl's ram grow constantly and are not shed annually like antlers. Mountain goats, both male and female, have short, sharp horns. The gaher, a type of wild cattle from India, grows strong horns. The pronghorn is the only horned animal that sheds its horns each fall. The ostrich is the only 2-toed bird in the world. Webbed toes are the sign of a swimmer. Owls have only 4 toes, 2 point forward and 2 point backward when the owl is standing on a perch. The ring-tailed lemur has hand-like feet. Armed with stout claws, the prairie dog's front feet are designed for digging. The brown bear's claws may be 5 inches long, great for digging and fighting. The sticky toes on tree frogs make them excellent climbers. Sheep hooves are a lot like rubber booties, good for gripping rocks. The zebra has 3 toes that together look like one hoof. The white rhino, on the other hand, has 3 toes that are easy to count. The 5 toes of the harbor seal have been turned into a flipper. The walrus has huge flippers. The bison uses its tail as a fly swatter. The leopard's tail seems to have a life of its own. Male mallard ducks have curled tails during the breeding season. The beaver's flat tail is used as a rudder for swimming. The rattlesnake's tail rattles a warning. A crocodile's tail has looked the same for millions of years. Some tails make great umbrellas. Other tails are just as good as a pair of hands. Just ask this opossum. The black mask and ringed tail are the unmistakable trademark of the raccoon. The beautiful eyes of the peacock's fan are not the tail. The pattern of the monarch butterfly warns birds that it is poisonous. Spots and stripes help to hide animals from predators. The pickerel frog has square spots of coloration. The feathers of the wild turkey glow in the sunshine. The male Costa's hummingbird displays its feathers to attract a mate. The shiny reflective colors on these feathers is called iridescence. The dogbane leaf beetle has an iridescent pattern. The color pattern on this moth provides excellent camouflage. White markings on the hornworm mimic the ribs of the leaf it feeds on. The wings of the leafhopper look like little leaves. In the winter, the hair turns white to match the snow. All baby animals love to play. To reach leaves, the African gearnook stands on its hind legs. This African ground squirrel stands on its hind legs to watch for danger. Arctic ground squirrels are constantly on the lookout for predators. Grizzly bears stand to get a better look, not because they are going to charge. Bears stand when they are curious about something. Marmots are short and also stand to get a better view. Using its agile hands, the red squirrel holds and turns a pear it is eating. Eastern chipmunk has large cheek pouches for carrying food back to its burrow. Ground squirrels like to eat flowers. A fritillary butterfly probes for sweet nectar with its uncurled tongue. Rabbits cannot hold their food with their front feet. Woodchucks eat constantly to prepare for winter hibernation. This young waxwing is eating juniper berries. Elk strip leaves from brush by pulling limbs through their mouths. Moose is an Algonquin word meaning twig eater. The white rhino can feed on very short grass with its square mouth. Giraffes chew their cud just like dairy cows. Bighorn rams have 4 stomachs. Bison chew their cud while they rest. This fox mother thinks it's time these kids learn to feed themselves. Wolf pups often nurse while the mother is standing. This mother pronghorn has just come back to where its baby was hidden. Mother lions will nurse any babies in the pride, sometimes all at once. After being born, baby elephants nurse for 2 years. This Grevy zebra will nurse her baby until it is 3/4 grown. Hyenas have a bad reputation as killers, but they are devoted mothers. This elk calf is only a few hours old. Newborn bison calves are a rusty color. Baby baboons hang on and nurse while their mothers walk about. White-tailed deer fawns nurse within 20 minutes of being born. This yellow baboon is very affectionate with its mother. Mother and baby show their bond to each other by nuzzling. The mother bison greets her newborn calf by licking it. Prairie dogs sniff each other for recognition. Birds are not as affectionate as mammals, but this mother sure looks loving. Fur seals only spend a few weeks with their babies, so scent and touch are important. The beaver uses its forefeet to hold onto its food. This gray squirrel uses its hands with great agility. The prairie dog has a good hold on the grass it is eating. The sea otter is using a tool when it smashes shellfish on a rock placed on its chest. Fingers of baboons are very much like human fingers. Robins, like most birds, drink by dipping up water. Lions and other cats lap up water. Most hooved animals, like these zebras, drink by suction. Giraffes have to be very flexible to drink. Hummingbirds drink while hovering. A magnificent white-tailed buck comes to drink frequently during the breeding season. This is a world-class beaver lodge. It's over 35 feet across. Second runner-up is this muskrat house at over 16 feet wide. Ground squirrels live in burrows, not lodges. Each spring, the woodchuck cleans out its burrow, enlarging the mound at the entrance. The entrance to a chipmunk burrow is usually hidden in the leaves. These young chipmunks are coming out of their burrow for the very first time. Baby gray foxes are born in a den that is sometimes dug in the rocks. Baby gray squirrels are born in a hollow tree on a bed of shredded bark. This hare digs a snow cave that protects it from the bitter winter wind. Wolf dens are usually dug in sandy hillsides where the digging is easy. Red squirrels gather dry grasses to make a warm bed. Before hibernation, the Arctic ground squirrel fills its den with grass. Rodents, like the Richardson's ground squirrel, know instinctively to use dry grass for bedding. Horned puffins bring dry grass to their underground nests. Cormorants build their nests from seaweed. Cardinals make a nest of twigs. Sparrows nest in birdhouses, but first fill it with grass. Blackbirds gather marsh grass for their nests. One of the most beautiful nests is made by the Baltimore oriole. Large sticks are used to make the nest of the great egret. Bluebirds like to nest in hollow trees. Cliff swallows gather mouthfuls of mud, which they use to build their nests. Bank swallows dig holes in sandbanks for their nests. The Gila woodpeckers chop their nests in the large saguaro cactus. The mallard duck builds its nest in high grass, counting on camouflage for protection. The avocet builds its nest as a raised platform in shallow water. Mourning doves use the fork of a tree for their nests. Great horned owls make their nests out of sticks. The endangered least tern makes its nest in the open sand along a beach. Its eggs are colored like sand. Thick-billed murres nest on narrow ledges along sea cliffs. The parents rest the eggs and chicks on their feet. Newly hatched goslings find warmth beneath mother's wing. When it's cold outside, baby birds try to crawl under their mothers for warmth. Warmed by its mother's feathers, this baby plover is ready to explore its new world. Well, I hope you enjoyed exploring the world of wildlife. We learned an awful lot of information, and yes, nature's zoo is truly filled with remarkable creatures. Next time you visit the zoo, you'll already know a lot more about the animals than you did before, thanks to Jailhouse Rock. Well, that's all for this special edition of Itty Bitty Kitty Wildlife. Hope to see you all real soon. So long.